Ryan, start here. Like that.
Are we on? This it?
We're on.
Esme Tara Gummer.
Tara? It's Esme Margaret.
Maggie Gum.
I used to hide my middle name growing up because I was embarrassed about Margaret, but I think it's really cool now.
I think it's a really strong name.
Same, because I was like, oh my God, Margaret, but actually, Esme Margaret.
Fucking Maggie.
Innit?
Are we allowed
Esme
to
Maggie. Yeah, you can swear on mine. We've upgraded.
Humble brag.
If you've been with us from the start, I love it when influencers do this. If you've been following my journey from the start,
Follow along.
I did my monthly wrap up last month in the middle of Bali on a sofa, and I was like, this is the monthly wrap up. Red Bull got wind of it. They said, Ez, get in the studio, and we have been upgraded. So thank you so much, Red Bull, for upgrading us. The monthly wrap up will now be in a proper studio.
Insert jingle.
It's the monthly wrap-up show. Perfect. So we've done something really fun today, and we've actually got Ryan, who's usually on the other side of the camera, to come to this side of the camera. How do you feel, actually? Is it weird? No, you're used to being on camera. You're an actor.
I am an actor.
I thought you were a child actor.
I'd love to be in Les Miserables.
We had this chat the other day. It was like, would you want to be an actor? And I was like, Ryan, you're giving EastEnders. And you were like, no, I want to.
Disappointed with that, to be honest. I thought I was going to given a serious role. You put me in EastEnders.
Yeah,
as like some comedic villain.
Didn't I put you in EastEnders?
You put me in
on
a
the market. What did you put me in? You didn't. We didn't get to that bit because you were in so much shock.
Because I was fuming, that's why.
Yeah. Sorry about that. But you then plot twisted me and was like, no, Les Mis.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I've been to the show twice.
Have you? I've not seen Les Mis yet.
Superb. Although the second time I fell asleep in it.
Oh, that's not cool at all.
Yeah, it was like a...
Because it was bad? Or was you ill?
No, we'd been on a all-you-can-drink brunch. It was a wedding present.
For Les Mis?
Yeah, it was like a day out for my mates. It was his wedding, and we were best men. And the present was go and see Les Mis, but we'll go for an all-day brunch before.
Classic.
And then I just, had a little nap whilst watching it.
If you've seen it before as well, that's actually fair. So monthly wrap up was in Bali. Now we're here. Ryan's on the other side of the camera. And I was like, do you know what? I've had this YouTube going for 8 weeks now. And Ryan has been there every step of the way as part of it all. So I was like, who better to have as my first guest than Ryan Lloyd Haynes? 2-finger clap. Thanks, Moses.
Thank you.
So we were just, we're going to go through the month again, but it's going to be so nice to have a bit of support from Ryan here as I do this. But one thing that we need to do is anyone new around here. Awkward, if you are.
Fill them in.
Awkward. By the way, if this is your first time watching.
You should be embarrassed, is that what you're saying?
Actually, no, because now I'm going to scare him away.
Stay with us.
Stay with us. I'm not in a mood. I'm just wondering why you haven't watched episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all I'm wondering. That's fair.
That's fair.
If you haven't, though, Ryan is going to tell you what this is all about.
What's this all about?
I want to hear it in your words.
In my
Because
words.
remember when we came in earlier, Moses, our man who's helping with the production of this, he was like, so what are you doing? And he was like, whoa, you're just so chill when you say it and make it. So I want you to do it. You
undervalue, I think, what you're doing. So you want me to say it in my words as how I see it from outside.
Yeah, no, I just watched. Hang on. Hold that note.
I guess from the start.
Need to hear the sound.
Oh, is that a Red Bull?
Yeah, there's no better sound than that, though, is there? On you go. On your pop.
You asked for a videographer on social media, on Instagram. I followed you. I saw you. If we're rewinding a little bit, I saw your Shag, Marry, Avoid 10K on Instagram. I thought,
Let's just pause there. So Shag, Marry, Avoid, 5K, 10K, marathon. Quick. What are yours?
Oh, avoid 5K all day long. I would happily do a half marathon every single day if my body allowed it.
Half marathon's not in there.
Oh, what was it?
5K, 10K, marathon. Shag, marry, kill. Yeah. Just a quick one. My one was shag a 5K, kill a 10K, because you don't know if you're coming or going with a 10K, marry a marathon.
I'd have to marry a marathon.
Well done. You're killing the 5K, so you're shagging the 10.
I'd have to kill the 5K. But then you can do a 5K before work every day. 10K, a bit long.
It's your funeral. Anyway.
I've longed that far.
Saw me on that video doing that.
Yes. You asked for a videographer. And I was like, And I'd seen you actually in the road about a week before, and I was like, I swear that's Esme.
I wasn't physically in the road.
You weren't. You were on the phone.
And you didn't save me.
No, I didn't.
So you're laying in the road.
I pushed you out of the way of this oncoming car, and I thought, hey, you need a videographer.
Yeah.
And I reached out and said, hey, talk to me. And you said, this is what I'm doing. And then our studio was down the road, and you said, let's come and chat. And you told me about this ridiculous challenge of yours, which is run to every single city. I repeat this to every person I know. They say, what are you working on at the moment? I'm saying, well, I'm working with this girl.
Yeah, do it as if I'm not here.
Man. She's running to every single city in the UK, and they sort of go, yeah, what do you mean? No, like running there on foot. You can run a car. And then is going to host a 5K when you land in that city. That's ridiculous. And people sort of think about it and don't really react to it. But there's 76 cities in the UK, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the bit that normally gets them.
Yeah.
I say it equates to about a marathon and a half a day for 99 days straight.
That's mad.
That is mad. So you tell me how you're feeling about that.
Yeah, so like basically, you are right though. We're 8 weeks in now, aren't we, to when it came out. Yep. It all got launched. And I do remember it went out and everyone was like, whoa. And then even 2 weeks later, I started talking about it and my sister was like, oh, you're running to every city. And I was like, what? And then we realised, didn't we? We both said it's not obvious to when you first hear it what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's why we had to get it out soon, because it's not till June 27th next year. We had to get it out soon because I was like, what's the point in doing this if people don't turn up for the 5K run? I want to get 1 million people to run a 5K with me. If we can't get them there and they don't know I'm coming, what a waste of time.
So go back to that. So the 1 million people to get to run 5K. What do you mean? So we're going to host a 5K in the city?
Yeah.
And then
so
why 1 million people?
I don't know, to be honest. I was like, million? Do you know what, though? It's because it's not necessarily physically they have to turn up, because some people might be on their hollybobs. You know, I might land in Leicester and it's like, oh, I'm on holiday that day. They can still complete the 5K in that 99 days. It's that in that 99-day window, I'm hoping to inspire 1 million people to move and do 5K, whether they walk it, jog it, run it, roll it. It does not matter what they do. I just want to inspire that, and that's why I chose 1 million.
So using your essentially a hashtag or the collective name for the 5K.
Like we'll log it somewhere, it will be logged, and then hopefully that number, like, wouldn't it be so cool if you saw the numbers rolling? You know, like when like money comes in for a charity, like you see the amount of people that have tagged it.
Yeah, that'd be class.
In it. So basically, so if you're new here, love ya, welcome. That's the challenge I'm doing, and I'm going to do a monthly wrap up. And this month was the month of October. And Ryan's going to help prompt some questions about my month.
I want to know how you're feeling, because from a running point of view, that's hard. But you're not in this 8 weeks. You haven't spoke about the running to me. I don't know if it's you're hiding how you're feeling, or you see it as relatively easy to do. In terms of what talk me through your thought process of when you decided to make that distance in your head. When did that become achievable? I want to go back to like ultra marathon, your background, and know how this is achievable. Because
I see what you mean.
I've run a marathon before.
It's horrible.
And you're doing that and a half for 99 days.
Mental. I love that you're telling me and then I go, am I? Do you know what? You're right. And I think that's such something we need to make really, really, really clear, because it looks like I'm like, I'm just running 5,000 kilometres. It's nothing. It's not. No. I think I'm able to second that in my kind of priority list, or what I speak about list, or my fear list, because I'm so motivated to get people moving that is what I think about every single day of my life. Since I announced it, I don't think about the distance. I do. Second, the first thing I think of is we've got to get people moving. We've got to get people moving. What about that person that's sitting on their sofa or in bed right now that doesn't want to leave the house because, you know, that they're suffering in whatever way that is. We've got to get into their head. We've got to tell them I'm coming. Like, and I think that has taken up so much headspace, is how do we get to these people that have never, ever moved in their life, or I can't imagine someone going to the grave and going, I've never completed a 5K. I just want people to feel it. So I think that's taken so much priority in everything I'm doing every day that I'm like, oh yeah, I've got to run 5,000 kilometres. But I am so scared. I think in this monthly wrap up, October, I was out in Singapore seeing Cam, and I got sick.
For reference, Cam's
my boyfriend. Oh God, I act like everyone just knows me. What a little bitch, aren't I? I'm like, oh yeah, Cam. Like, I actually know I've got 140 subscribers. Come on, Cam's my boyfriend. Moved to Singapore in Jan. He's going to be there doing his thing, and we're doing long distance, so that's also another thing going on in the background. But I went out to see him. I was there for 3 weeks. I was like, I'm going to get training. My training plan is, which I spoke about in the last month wrap up, I'm doing a High Rocks in 4 weeks time. So I've been on an 8-week plan for High Rocks. I wanted to do some really high intensity training, so to end the year. So I'm doing High Rocks, and then we're going to go into a lot of loading, loads of long running and strength in the new year. Anyway, so I went to Singapore. I was like, I'm going to spend this just getting fit and doing my plan, and I got sick.
Oh.
I got a little cold,
obviously.
And it was actually a moment. I actually was out for 3 days. It really like floored me. And I was like, oh my God, I could get ill on the challenge. So like now things are coming up in my everyday that I'm going, oh my God, this could happen on the challenge. Oh my God, that could happen on the challenge. Physically, mentally, news in the family, you know, like things that, and I'm spending every day at the moment, something happening, going, what would you do if you were running right now and that happened?
Yeah.
And that is actually starting to scare me a bit now.
Interesting. I think firstly, it's interesting, like so interesting to me that getting the nation moving is first and the running is secondary. That's mental. Like the amount of empathy you have for that to happen. I want to know like when your deepest why started, of like why that is so important to you.
Do you know what? When I got paralysed, learnt to walk again, I went into fitness. I wanted to go into coaching, personal training. And when I did that, I was like, I want to work in rehab. I want to work in rehabilitation because I've been there.
Yeah.
So I want to work with people who, you know, have got paralysed or injured and bring them back. And actually, there was such a massive shift in that moment where I was like I started, you know, getting my PT qualifications and stuff like that. And I thought, no, I don't. I don't want to help him. Not that I don't want to help him.
You're on your own.
No, that was bad.
I'm out of here.
Someone else. No, do you know what I mean is I thought my passion was going to lie in that side of fitness, and actually I was like, no, my passion lies in helping the people that have never. So like people who, I was in, you know, rehabilitation, but I'd run, danced, exercised my whole life, had it taken away from me, rehab myself back into it. So I'd seen both sides. I thought, what about all the people out there that have never? And then I suddenly was like, I can't bear the thought. I don't know what it was. It was like it got attached to me, this, you know, this thought that then turned into, I don't know, like sounds awful, like an obsession. Like I couldn't stop thinking about it all the time. Like, God, there's people that will never know how that feels. That feels crossing a finishing line, their heart rate going up, patting himself on the back going, I did that. I said, and a lot of it was to do with mental health as well. Because when I was paralysed, my mental health really, really dipped. And I realised it didn't dip just because I got paralysed and gone through this really awful thing. It dipped because I weren't moving. And it was the first time in my life I didn't move because I've always been active. And then I suddenly saw the correlation between doing fuck all and feeling shit, and then doing something and feeling better.
And that's the first time you've equated those two?
First time. And I was, 19? That I suddenly went, oh, movement makes you feel good. Because I'd just always done it, right? I'd always danced and run and whatever because I loved it. So I never felt that feeling of, you know, we all get it, the stale feeling of sitting around doing nothing and then your head. And I just started realising that when I move, I have a good day. And when I don't move, I don't have a great day. And I just thought, oh my God, not only can people feel how amazing it is across the finish line or feel great about themselves and get confidence, people could actually help their mental health through movement. So yeah, a lot of it came from that as well. The passion and the drive to help people.
So here we are.
Bit obsessed.
We're running far.
We're running far and wide.
I guess my question is then, how do you think it's going so far? What does the next few weeks look like? You said you're doing High Rocks.
Yeah. So
I'm filming this, right?
how you coming? Yeah, you coming?
I'm coming. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be there. Yeah, I think I announced it and got loads of good kind of feedback from it, and people reaching out and being like, wow, it's amazing. Loads of run clubs across the UK being like, how can we help and support? And I was like, wow, this is so amazing and great. And then I had the reality hit of life moves on.
Yeah.
And within a week, no one was talking to me about it anymore, which is not the reason I put it out. But I was like, well, I've got to keep people engaged for 9 months. 9 months. But I also didn't want to announce it too late because then I'd have to get people engaged in 3 months. And so I definitely felt the aftermath of like the anticlimax, boom, and being like, how am I going to do this? So I felt like I went a bit small and into myself. And then I think October, I felt a bit better once I started my training plan.
Yeah.
And started having High Rocks to look at, and I'm starting to put in races next year to help me. And I've got some ideas about how to engage the run clubs across the UK before I cut, so, but I did feel very small and be like, wow, I'm a tiny dot and I'm doing this. So yeah, I have felt the weight of it for sure.
I think for you though, life does move on, doesn't it? And people have lives to get on and jobs and kids and etc.
Which is totally fair.
So fair. But you do have to train. So you can't stop thinking about this, but then obviously everyone has to carry on with their lives. And me, I feel like I'm there with you. And I understand the feelings that you have surrounding going small around it. But we've got shit to do, mate. So you ain't got time to rest.
I ain't got
or think about it too much anyway.
Yeah. It's all I think about, though, every second of the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's how I've been feeling this month.
Yeah.
Training for High Rocks, Singapore, got a bit ill. That suddenly hit me. And that's kind of where I'm at. But, yeah.
It's time to get tuned up, isn't it? We need to go and see a physio.
We want to see a physio. We need to see a nutritionist.
Yeah.
Girl needs to know what to eat.
Yeah. How's the diet at the moment?
I mean, I'm doing as well as I can on my own, but I need some support and help. Yeah. I just don't know what to, what do you do? How do you train to run 5,000 kilometres?
Because you can't, you said it before, but you can't gel, can you? Obviously.
I can gel, but not 99 days of gel. I might as well have a tea. I might as well bang some mash. But yeah, so Ryan and I are always sitting and thinking, aren't we? Like, what do we, what do we show next? YouTube's new for both of us, and that's why I loved it when Ryan messaged me and was like, I want to help, and we met and we sat chatting for ages, and you were just like, look, this is all new for me, but I'm so invested into this challenge and I want to help. And we've kind of just been working together, haven't we? And figuring stuff out. And I think we're still figuring it.
100%. And obviously you went Singapore for 3 weeks and then South Africa, which didn't quite work out the way.
Yeah.
Good, huh?
Cape Town Marathon got cancelled. But don't worry. I weren't running it. I was interviewing people, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm so invested in this, and I love the fact that you're so passionate about moving all these people. And it's inspirational. And if I don't get the opportunity to say again, you do inspire me, Esme.
Oh, right. Thank you very much. You will get to say that again and again.
Never
again.
Where are you going? I'll never say that again.
I quit.
This is my formal resignation.
This is my final YouTube.
Too much.
God, we've only done 8 weeks. When Ryan actually first started this with me, we had 40 weeks until we start the challenge.
Yeah.
So we're 8 out of 40, which this is going to absolutely blow your mind now, right? We're nearly a quarter of the way through.
What? No, we're not.
What? 8 out of 40. So 10 out of 40. 10 episodes will take us a quarter of the way through.
Yeah, I suppose.
Ryan!
How many weeks left to the challenge?
No, I'm saying when we first started... Right, listen, I'll do it again. Quick math. When we first started this, we had 40 weeks. And I remember saying to you, there's going to be 40 episodes before I start the challenge. We're on episode 8.
So there was 40 from the start.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're nearly at 30 weeks.
What? We're not nearly at 30 weeks.
Well, if we're 10, once we get to 10.
Oh my word, this has gone crazy. I can't wait for you to not cut this out.
No, I can't do
that. On The Hangover when Alan's in the casino and all the maths, that's what's happening. But anyway, let's just refresh. We are nearly a quarter of the way through of this YouTube journey, and I still feel like we're finding our feet with it. And 100%. What do people want? What do the people want? Content is so difficult, isn't it?
It is. It is, but I think the authenticity of everything rings through. I think you sometimes forget your personality is what people have following you and joined the journey for. There's loads of people that do hard challenges in the world and across, endurance and ultra endurance, but you're one of the main females leading the space. Not a lot of you. Well, there is, but not on social media. That's what I would say. Because
True.
Who's the lady that won the
Berkeley Marathon?
Oh,
legend. Can't even think of her name. That's
legend.
Awful. Insert photo here.
But yeah, to do it front facing and to say you're going to do it out loud. Oh.
When I said it, I was like,
mate.
I remember when we went to post the announcement, and an hour before I turned to Chloe, my housemate, I went, I don't want to do it anymore. She went, what post? I went, no, the challenge. She went, right.
Yeah, you ain't got a choice now.
I know. It's out. So yeah, on that note, help Ryan, help us. We need to know, what do you want to see more of? Because we've only got 32 episodes left. That's actually sickening. I actually did put out on my Instagram story earlier, like, guys, ask me questions about my challenge, and I can answer them because I'm doing an episode, and we've got one.
Yes. In fairness, you put it out about half an hour.
Put it out 48 minutes ago, but I'm not even going to pretend, oh my God, I love it.
What was the question you asked?
But wait, I love it when influencers ask me anything questions, and then I always think, have you wrote back to yourself and then answered the question you want to answer?
100%.
They always tend to be they'll answer about 4, and then the 5th one's like, how can I train with you? And it's like, oh, you can sign up to my courses here, they're £80. Yeah. I'm like,
how convenient. That was the 5th question.
I'm like, so good. I love him for it though. I just said, we're here, I'm doing a wrap up. Is there anything you want to know? And then I wrote in the question about ask me a quasi. Maybe people didn't know what quasi meant. I was going to put ask me a Quasimodo, Quasimodo, but that could have gone wrong. Ask me a quasi for my monthly wrap up for the challenge. And someone said, how do you stay motivated when you CBA?
Ooh.
And for anyone who doesn't know what CBA means, it means can't be asked.
Can he be asked?
Can he be asked?
Can he be asked?
How do you stay motivated when you CBA? Do you know what? I always say to people, I am not a motivated person.
No?
No, not pre. In whatever I'm doing, when I'm in it, I'm motivated, I'm up for it, I love it, whatever it is. I am actually not that motivated before I do something if I'm on my own. The motivation for me is if I'm usually meeting someone. So if I've got to go for a run and I'm leading the Say Yes Club long run, I know I've got to be there leading.
Yeah.
So I'm out of bed, I'm up for it, I get there, I'm up for it. And like I said, whenever I get there, I'm in it. I love it. But my tip for that, how do you stay motivated when you CBA, is have someone to do it with, or have a reason or a purpose. Accountability and helping other people really helps me do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not a self-centered person. So I'm like, oh, well, if you don't go, you'll just fail. It's really bad. So I'm like, but if you're helping someone, it couldn't motivate me more, knowing I'm going to help someone.
Yeah, I get that. But
I need to help myself.
You haven't had a training partner in all your challenges, have you? Because you've done some serious things. So there must have been a lot of days where you got out of bed and thought,
CBA,
yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because when I've done multi-stage ultras and I'm in the desert, 250 kilometres, living in the desert.
See what I mean? See how she just says that? When I've done ultra marathons, I sort of had a bit of discipline.
I kind of had to do. No, but I think what it is when you're there, you're in the middle of the desert, you're camping, right? You're eating dehydrated food, like space food, astronaut food. You're like, oh, what have we got today? You got 50k to next camp. If you don't get there, you don't get there. You have to run it. You're like, if you don't, I remember being in the moment being like, if you don't go, you won't get to camp, and then you don't get to eat and
sleep.
Can't
eat, yeah.
So it's really weird. And people always say to me, when I was on SAS Who Does Wins, they go, oh my God, I could never do that. I said, yes, you can. Because sitting at home, comfortable, on your sofa with your legs up, eating a tub of ice cream, watching SAS Who Does Wins, freezing cold, wherever they are. I was in the freezing cold mountains, in the snow, shivering. Yeah, I'd be watching going, I could never do that. If you were there And you've got two options. And obviously on that, your options are do it or go home.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go home. You do it. Did I want to jump in a freezing cold lake? No. Was I motivated to do it? No. What was the other option? Go home. Did I want to go home? No, so I jumped in. Everyone could.
I think you've skipped the step there where you went on SAS Udas wins. You didn't just wake up and you were on SAS Udas wins.
Woke up one morning and had middle finger. Get out of bed! Fucking hell. That would be sick though if you could just be somewhere like that. But yeah, the example of that was though the motivation thing is like, what is your motivation? Like, what is your reason? Like, and mine is that there you go. I'll answer your question, darling. She said, what motivates you when you CBA, right? I've just made up a load of bollocks just then being like, oh, I'm not actually, I am motivated. I've just realised because one day I'll have to say no. Yes. I don't know why I didn't say that first. Yes. I think I was trying to be cute. But the reason that I have got an answer. The answer is I literally, this is what goes through my head. I go, I'm waking up, you got a 5K run this morning. I wake up, oh, I don't want to. But if you couldn't do this tomorrow, would you be gutted? Yeah, then go. It's easy.
And that's it.
And it's this simple. You ready? If you can, do. And if you can't, don't. And honestly, it is that simple.
Simple but not easy, I think.
Not easy, but that simple. Life, we make life harder. We make it harder. You know. So like a 5K run, get in there. It's like, oh, I've got to go in the cold. I've got to get changed. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to go like that. One day, every single person ever, someone will go, do you want to come on a 5K? And you're going to have to say, no, I actually can't. And that day, that's not the day I want. So that's my motivation. I'm going to have to say no one day.
Yeah. We want to get 1 million people, right? Mm-hmm. And the biggest barrier to doing that is people feel they can't run 5K. Yes. That's what I found personally, because once you get people running, it's quite an easy jump to go from 5K to 10K, 10K to half to marathon. Like that's because you are in it, you know what the body 100%. Experience is. The biggest thing is people don't know they can do 5K. Yeah. How are we going to
get them there?
How are we going to get those people there?
Because that is the thing. Like, one thing I want to make really clear, again, off that motivation thing, is like, trust me, I know what it's like to do your first 5K, because I had to redo it again after learning to walk again, let alone run. It was terrifying.
Should we tell that story?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Because that's when you came to the studio and we spoke about that.
Yeah.
You told me this unbelievable story.
Yeah.
And after I tell people, oh yeah, she's running a marathon and a half. Oh yeah, she used to be paralysed, by the way.
Yeah.
So, she runs multi-stage ultras. Of course she did.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. So people will be like, I think that's what my kind of, the magic in it is the penny drop moment when people go, oh yeah, it's all right for you because you run ultras and you're really motivated and you want me to do 5K. And I think it's not all right for me.
Yeah.
I've been the girl who learnt to walk again, and it took me 6 years to run again. 6 years to run, but I did it.
When were you paralysed? What age?
So 18, I got paralysed. By 19, it took me about a year to fully rehabilitate myself to be your everyday gal. Walk around, do this, reach up, get in a car, get out of a car, walk upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
But at the beginning of it, when I learned to walk again, you never know. You see me down the street, you think, oh, it's fine. But maybe I can't bend down. Do you know what I mean? It was a long journey. I went out for my first ever run, and I got to about 1.2 kilometres or something. It was on Map My Run back then. And
TBT. TBT.
Yeah, do you remember?
Yeah.
Throwback Thursday. And I had to stop and call my mum. I said, my leg has gone dead. I can't feel my left leg. It's gone. She's like, what do you mean? It's gone. It's like it's paralysed again. I can't explain it. She came and picked me up, went back to the doctors, whatever, in and out, figuring it all out. We don't know what's happened. It's as if you've had this episode. It's like brain episode.
And so how long ago after the...
Like... I don't know. Up to a year after. I need to check the date on that on my run. And I remember that happening. We went in and I just thought, nah, I'm not going to run again. I'm so grateful. I was so petrified that I caused myself to be paralysed. I thought, what are you doing? You've been given back a second chance to walk. Why would you go mess it up now? No more running for me. So 6 years. I tried a bit here and there. Oh, no, my leg would go, oh, do you know what I mean? Maybe it was never going to go. I was so petrified. And it took me 6 years to get the confidence and the guts to go again. Someone would say the word 5K. Oh, we're going on a 5K run. And I'd be like, I bet people can relate to that feeling. Oh, my God, I'm not going to be able to keep up. I'm going to be slow. I'm going to slow everyone down. I know that feeling, and it is so sickening. When you start the run, a group run, and you think, I can't. I'm going to slow them down. And the person that you're with goes, I don't give a shit. How many times would you take someone out for a 5K and they go to you, Ryan, I'm going to slow you down? You think, oh, I don't care.
Yeah. The person doesn't care.
I just want to run with you.
Want to run with somebody and have the first time doing it.
I don't care about my pace.
That's definitely.
So yeah, that's something I want to make really clear is I do know how scary it is to do a 5K. So in answer to your question, how are we going to get people there? We've just got to keep doing things like this, getting into their head, G'ing them up. I will be there waiting for you. You can walk it if you need to. If you need to stop. I'm going to, let's look at how in the new year we can get out some plans for people, walk a bit, run a bit plans. I do not care, honestly, if you come to my 5K in whatever city and you have to stop and take a breather and start running again, it still counts. Yeah. If you have to walk it, if you start running for 10 seconds and go, I cannot walk it, I do not care. I just want you to come do 5K with me. It could change your life. It could be the catalyst to a whole different journey that you should be on and you're not. Amen.
It's true, isn't it?
And that's it.
And I think a lot of people can do more than they think they can.
Yeah.
They just can.
And I'll be there.
And you'll be there.
I'll be there. And I think that's the point that I'm running the whole thing. I'm not turning up in a car. Do you know what I mean? Pulling up, let's run 5K. That's the point, Ryan. The reason I'm doing this. But why are you running to every city? Because if I run, surely it will, she's just run 60K today. Surely I can join her for the last 5. That's my hope, is that people put into perspective and go, she can run from Scotland and now she's all the way in, Plymouth. Surely I can just go meet her for 5K.
Yeah.
So hopefully that works.
Who's your biggest inspiration?
Who's my biggest inspiration?
Yeah.
Whoa. Just seeing if anyone else asked me questions they didn't say. Sweet guys. My biggest inspiration. Oh my, I don't know. Do you have one?
Do I have one?
Who's your biggest inspiration? It's hard on the spot, admit that.
It is hard on the spot.
Because you could answer like 10 different ways.
Yeah, you can.
That's why that's a hard question.
If you ask me a sport, it'd be completely different to life.
Yeah. And then you've got that kind of like thing where like a therapist would tell you to say, me.
Me at 30 years old. And it was me at 40 years old. Life-wise, probably I'd go Malcolm X, Denzel. Sport-wise, do you know what? It used to be Ryan Giggs till he turned out to be an absolute wrong one. And you're done. No, Muhammad Ali is in there. And then, I tell you who I love. Miriam Margolyes. Miriam Margolyes, she's class.
Miriam Margolyes, I reckon. I'm not good with names.
You know Romeo and Juliet, Baz Luhrmann version?
Yes.
She plays like the housemaid. She's like, Juliet! And she's like this little old Jewish lady who's like a lesbian, but she's probably like in her 80s. She has an absolute potty mouth. Honestly, look her up. She's absolutely a class human being.
Yeah.
She's so self-aware. And my mate went to see her the other day and said she was just talking awful when it comes to what she talks about.
Oh, fine. I thought you said, and she was awful.
No, she was great.
Never meet your heroes. Do you know what? That's just got me thinking, though. This is how we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
I said earlier, I was like, I'd love to do something at the end where, like, it's a bit fun and whatever. Yeah. I just know, you've just given me inspiration of what we're going to do. On the road, who you want with you. So, like, running the nation. People you would choose to come on the run with you. So if you were doing it, Run the Nation, or you're crewing it, you're
you
there.
just come up with that now.
Yeah. So I was thinking, who would you want to come?
If I was running it?
Yeah, or like you'll come with me anyway. Like, we're on the road, and say each day we're allowed to bring a couple of people. Like, who would you bring? So I already know one of mine, like, straight up. Also, with this, it, like, they don't have to be alive, all of that. Who would you having a dinner party thing?
Yeah.
Also, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're not saying, like, oh, well, they couldn't run 60K. It's not like that. It's just the vibe. Like, what vibe? So someone I would... actually, Two people I would love because we watched a reel of them the other day and I just love them. Ant and Dec. Like...
I think that's very doable.
But I'd want Ant and Dec to commentate it because I just think that would be funny. And then I don't know why I'm going for like pure TV presenters here, but Alison Hammond. Like if I'm sad,
We can get her in Birmingham. 100%.
if I'm sad, this is genuine, and I know I will use this on the run. Like when people are like, "What are you going to use to pick me up?" I just go on my TikTok and I'm now in an algorithm where I just put Alison Hammond top moments and I just sit and watch and like laugh so hard. And so if Alison Hammond was just there being Alison, like I think that would just be massively motivational for me.
She'd probably stop laughing. She'd
I just
stop
love
every
her.
2 minutes just because she's laughing, and then she'd have to catch up.
Yeah, it would be so good.
That would be a good one.
Who would you want? They could be crew, like because they could be crewing it. They could be running it, cycling with me.
Imagine if David Goggins turned up. Stay on.
I'd be well scared.
Yeah. I'm going to run it twice. Because...
No, he'll be like, take your shoes off.
Yeah. You're not running on broken legs.
I want blood.
You're doing something wrong.
Him just like, what are those things called where you shoot pellets of people? You know, like in the wire thing.
Yeah, what's actually cool?
I think TJ and Recess had one. What are they called? Catapult.
Catapult.
Yeah, him just catapulting like rocks at me. What, TJ? In Recess?
No, catapult. A strange word.
Slingshot. Thanks, Moses. Slingshot.
Do you know what I'd say as a serious answer? I'd say my dad, because he's got a bad hip and he needs a hip replacement.
Sorry, okay.
Are you laughing at my dad's hip?
No, we weren't. We weren't laughing at
Why
that.
is she laughing at my
Do you
dad's
know what it was? It was like, I would choose my dad because he's got a bad hip. And I thought that was your reason. I was like, this is insane.
He's waiting on a replacement. Hopefully he'll have a replacement by June, and he wants to do couch to 5K. So this is a perfect opportunity and time-wise to get him in the Coventry one and get him running it.
And your dad came up with a really ridiculously good idea, didn't
That's
he?
my uncle.
Oh, your uncle, which
That is
was
his brother. A torch.
That we take and to each city.
Every city.
I love
Maybe
that.
it could be a Red Bull torch.
Yeah, that would be cute. Ka-ching. Okay, your dad. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, but you get where the laughter
I'm
came
going to go home and tell Dad Esme laughed at your bad hip.
It wasn't. It was this. Can I just one more time replay? You go, I would have my dad because he's got a bad hip. And then you pause and I was like...
And it'd just be funny to watch him.
Yeah. Anyone else that you want?
On
On crew, maybe, not running.
crew.
On crew.
On crew. I was going to say Eckhart Tolle, but that wouldn't be good because he'd just be too monotone. I mean, if Russ Cook turned up and did a few miles, that'd be
Wave at Russ Cook in case he's watching.
That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? I always see him tearing around Victoria Park.
I know, and do you know what? He reposted my reel when I announced it, and bearing in mind that wasn't planned, he chose to do that, and I was like, oh my god! And then he DM'd me, he was like, do you want to go for a run? And I was like, yeah. And then I basically have just been stalking him in his inbox on Instagram since. I'm just going to admit it and be like, hey, I'm running today if you're free, and he just doesn't reply because he's so busy. And maybe I've scared him. I don't know, but. If you're out there, please come on a run with me around Victoria Park. Even though I'll be well shy, won't I? You know I will, as soon as he turns up.
No, you won't. At all.
I think my Russ Cook kind of dream, I've had this vision in my head that he kind of passes the baton.
Yeah.
You know, he's like...
Do you reckon that's why he reposted it? Because he was like...
I just feel this feeling, and I love him, and I think he's great, and he actually is someone who's done a challenge who I go, you did it in the right way, the way I love.
And he's just a proper geezer.
Proper geezer. Exactly. And I just think, I like how he did it.
Yeah.
I like how he did his challenge. It wasn't like, oh, look at me. Like, I'm going to do it and I'm amazing. It was like, he was...
Head down.
Yeah.
Eat miles.
Yeah. So him kind of passing it over to a female going, you go, gal. Me putting words in his mouth.
I don't know if he'll say that. You might, to be fair, you might.
Would make my life. So, yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
That's
you pick your people.
What? Yeah, I've got Alison Hammond and Ant and Dec
did.
this episode.
I can't wait to hear other people's people.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Guys, thanks so much. We've been upgraded.
Like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, share.
Every time.
I know, I can never do it. And I'll see you next week. Oh, also, thanks so much, Ryan.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
For being on.
Kisses.
Hold for ages.
Just as long as it's comfortable.
Yeah, go. Now, which camera are you in?
Oh, which
Go
one?
middle. 2 fingers. Let's go. Thank you.